Hello everybody and welcome to the ITK Soccer Show. It's the 20th of September and we are coming to you live on a Tuesday night. Well, it's not live because you won't be listening to it live, but we're watching some Carling Cup football. We're watching Leicester versus Chelsea and keeping an eye on everything else as it's happening. Dan is watching a far lesser game, I believe, some sort of League of Ireland team.
At the moment.
So, more important than the game. How are things? Oh.
Jawa.
Well, Neil.
Okazaki. He shaved his hair.
Neil, this day will always be remembered for Angelina Jolie asking Brad Pitt for a divorce.
Yeah, which is really sad because I'm sure far more important.
Does love even exist if those two can't make it? If two successful white people in Hollywood can't make it, what chances there for the rest of us?
We've already talked about this for far too long. So how are things, guys?
Having a great time playing Pro the last few days.
Well, what's everyone's first opinion on Pro?
It's amazing, but it's so bloody hard to score against the computer.
It's a different game, isn't it?
It's just like...
It's a different...
That's really bad goal. It's in the old game, like, you could go on Superstar against the computer and, you know, you'd pretty much win most league games. Just an average, say, 6-0.
Okay. Yes, that's true. That's
like
just
an average, say 6-0, home or away. And this one, if you can score over 2 goals, you're doing really well. But it's not like they're taken away from the gameplay. It's actually really fun. But it's just you have to take your chances.
Oh, you certainly do.
Like, and it's not that like I remember playing FIFA last year.
Put it away, will you?
Huh.
Go on.
Scratching myself.
You just growl out. Go ahead.
No. Like if you have like an old FIFA, right? It'd be like you barely wouldn't even get a shot in the whole game, and then if you did, the keeper would just save it. This one is actually you do get shots, but you just have to take it because you don't get that chances. But I don't think it's a good game, and some of the Master League things are really good.
Yeah, they're very, very good.
What does the favourite player thing do?
I still don't know.
I wonder, like, if they like your player of the season or do well, do they go up points?
Well, I made Sturge my favourite player because he's scoring all my goals because I can't score with anyone but him.
Probably, yeah. Like I've got a young guy I bought, so I just put him as my favourite player because he's going to play every game and hopefully he'll get good.
I don't know. I like the way you can dictate what kind of training they can do, so you can focus on certain aspects. Like I want Firmino to be faster, so I will have him train as a winger. That's clever.
It's and also if you play a player out of position, the coach then can tell you try it again a couple of more times and you'll get that player position.
Yeah,
so that's really good.
It'll become a registered position. I presume it goes from C to B to A the more he plays there, which is nice. But first impressions are I the exact same as you. Do you think when you get good at it that it'll be a more enjoyable game than last year? No. Because last year was everything pro was it was supposed to be. Yeah.
Well, John, me and you had a few games of the weekend, and they were never 0-0. To be fair,
we're like, terrible.
Well, that's okay.
Like I don't concede goals against the computer, but I conceded loads against you. But then I don't score against the computer, but I scored a few against you. So like I think it's just the AI of the computer is really tough. Maybe like last year the AI of the computer was a bit thick, but it's always in all games. It's always been.
Last year we'll see. I'm just losing a lot in it, so I hate it.
All right,
you should drop at one level. Like I'm on top player.
Yeah.
Get master top player. See how you do,
and then move on.
Then kick on maybe with your second season.
You can't turn life down a level.
That's what I'm gonna do.
You get good at things by playing at the top.
No, I wish I had the gumption you do, but that's what I'm gonna do. No matter how good or bad I do the first season, I'm gonna bump it up to second.
See, I'm in a tough position because I'm flicking Leeds. So when I get promoted, which I should get. But my players are going to be 70s, and I'll be going into. So I'll have no budget. Still, so
you might have a bit from getting in the Premier League if it's
remember last time we did that last year in the game, we got like 5 million.
It is a different game.
It's very tough.
We only hope that they'll make it more lifelike. We should also talk about the lovely new graphic that people are going to see on the thumbnail for the YouTube video this week.
Oh yeah, that was nice actually.
Do we know his name to give him a shout out?
He's at WikiLeaks on Twitter.
Is he actually?
We really should get his name there, John. He's done a good job.
He likes going by that thing because he obviously has his own job. It's just a hobby that he does. And
how can that WikiLeaks not be taken already? He is just at WikiLeaks. Are you sure there's something different there?
Yeah, pretty sure.
I'll
check again. We'll go back.
Check again. Very kind of him to put Dan and yourself and Barry Gibb on the picture.
He was lovely.
Barry Gibb is doing well. He's a big fan of the show.
He is.
It's not WikiLeaks. My mistake there.
Of course it's not. It's like he's at Fox News. Yeah, that's it. No one else has that.
At NBC Simpsons. No, he's Wiki Rascals. Sorry. WikiLeaks. Okay. WikiLeaks is another thing you should really check out if you're.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. It's just like he's at Mercedes Ireland.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt's going to play him. I think his name is Edward Snowden. I think
that's the fella. All right. Well, yeah. A big shout out to him. It
could be him. I don't know.
Mr. Leaks.
Mr. Leaks.
Okay, so we'll do some news before we talk about the Premier League results over the weekend. We covered pretty much everything that happened in Europe, and it will come full circle when we talk about Mourinho and United on Sunday. Joey Barton suspended by Rangers.
Just in time to go on his book tour.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah.
So was the suspension for?
Apparently it's for he was in trouble as well, but apparently it's betting allegations as well against.
Well, there was a training ground fight, and now it's come out that he bet. He put a bet down that Celtic would lose by 3 or more goals against Barcelona during the week.
I think you should be allowed to do that.
I just don't think you're allowed to bet on.
Not allowed to do that. That's
but like
so that's the problem.
Yeah, but it's not to
you're not allowed to do that.
I suppose it's a conflict of interest, but
yeah,
you don't want to do it with the game though.
Late great. Oh, he's not dead. But look at the great Pete Rose. You know, Pete Rose was blackballed from baseball because he was betting against his own team.
I thought that was because he was on WrestleMania 14.
Well, eventually, yes. Huge heat in that city. But
sure, Matt Letizia did the same thing. Well, he didn't get caught. It
was a throw-in, wasn't it?
Yeah, he bet there'd be a throw in the first 10 seconds, and then he lost like $2,000 because some terrible teammate that he had actually made an amazing save. And you're just like, you like stupid piece of shit.
That is so funny. Yeah. That's brilliant.
Yeah, he's in trouble though. Like he was suspended for 3 weeks for the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who was it with the manager at Warburton?
No, it was with not the manager.
Senderos.
I don't know Rangers players at all, and nor should I.
Shota Arver Ladsay.
Although
Peter Lovenkrands or Michael Mould.
I still say the Old Firm derby is worth watching over Shamrock Rovers Dundalk.
Obviously.
Okay. Yeah, because that's exactly what I said.
Gains of significance, of course. Joey Barton also released information the past couple of days that he almost signed for Liverpool.
Yeah, Gerard Houllier in his long list of great midfielders that he signed with Emil Heskey and El Hadj Diouf. He had to put them back there. Joe, Shearu, Latelek was signed with his cousin Cinema Pongal.
Florence.
Bishkan is a legend and a Champions League winner. So
are half those players.
Exactly. But apparently there was a deal done. This is when Barton was a young up and coming lad.
Where was he with? Because he joined Man City.
Did he not come through the City U team? No.
Yeah, so
I think it must have been from Man City when he was young, and then Benitez went, I think I'll take Alonso instead, this handsome man, and I think it worked out for all parties involved.
That's absolutely mad, isn't it?
It worked out. It is the anniversary today of the Alonso goal against Newcastle, isn't it?
Yep.
And then Barton said he went and purposely fouled him.
Like 4 years later, in a match that Newcastle desperately had to win to stay up.
That man held a grudge.
Well, that was like a bit of a Roy Keane, but what did he say?
It's not as bad though.
No, but it was like but it did. Like it was like a couple of years after, like what did he say? Alonso was like rolling around the ground faking it. Like,
it sounds like he might.
I tried to get a yellow. But
I think he might have made the story up to sell books.
Else want to read that book and see what the hell he has to say?
I watched the Ronaldo film. One of you guys can take the book.
No, I already have the Neymar album, so Dan can read Joey Barton's book.
Dan gets Joey Barton's book.
Okay, I'll get Joey Barton. I'll get it in the library.
How's that Neymar album?
Yeah, when's that out? That was it last week?
Yeah, so
what do they call it? Name Music or something? Is it? Or
that's a great name.
They are calling it something like that.
I hope all the songs start with Nay something.
Me too.
Bunch of Nay puns.
I don't think
Nay Bother. That's the album.
He's rich. He's fine. You can do what he wants.
I bet he's wearing a white hat.
You could be with Bruce Willis's album, or
Bruce Willis is actually an accomplished musician, my friend.
The Wet Bandit from Home Alone. He has an album as well.
Bill Cosby. He did a few albums, so we're not allowed to talk about him anymore.
I was in a hotel once, and they had a Bill Cosby's Fatherhood in the library where you had afternoon tea. So I read it.
And how was he as a man giving tips on being a father?
Just put stuff in their drinks, makes them sleep for a bit.
Yeah. John. Dele Alli signs.
We talked about football.
Yeah,
we talked about that. A big wedding, a big marriage breaking up, and a book.
Oh, Barry Gibb.
On Barry Gibb.
Okay, so. Dele Alli signing a new 6-year deal. Fair play.
It's a bit mad, isn't it, for 6 years for him?
It doesn't mean anything.
No, it means nothing. It just means Spurs sign all these players on low things like Dyer, Kane, Eriksson, and Ali have all signed new contracts to move up in wages. It's just because they're going to start losing them pretty soon.
Yaya Toure, Pep Guardiola came out today and said that Yaya Toure is going to have to apologise for what his agent said if he wants to get back in the team. That's a bit unfair.
He also retired from international.
He did, yeah.
He was like the
Great
best
servant.
Ivorian player.
He was. But it's weird that Yaya has to apologise for something.
Well, I think it's that he's saying the agent is quoting Yaya. He said Yaya says this, and I'm saying it.
No, that's not what happened at all.
Well, what was said then?
Well, the agent said that if they win the Champions League, that he will fly to England and go on television and say Pep Guardiola is the best manager in the world. But if they don't, he said that Pep Guardiola should admit that he's an absolute idiot, and that's what Yaya has to apologise for.
Clearly it's coming from Yaya this though.
No, why would it be coming from Yaya? Clavan scored a goal for Liverpool. Liverpool are 1-0 up against Derby. No, it's not. It's literally Yaya said nothing public, and this is the talk of the agent.
But this is also the same agent who was giving out that Yaya didn't get a birthday cake, and Yaya nearly handed a transfer request over.
Yeah, sure,
that
but like
years ago.
So like it's just the pair of them are fucking idiots.
That I can imagine.
But look, Yaya shouldn't be near the starting 11 anyway.
Well, I don't think that Pep would have given him the option to apologise. Unless he thought that there was something Yaya could do.
There's bad blood there for whatever reason, but
Pep Guardiola said that he loves Yaya Toure when the hardest decision.
What question was Pep asked that he said, "Oh, for fuck's sake"?
Can they win the quadruple?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pep Guardiola said the hardest decision he's made since being City boss was leaving Yaya out of the Champions League team.
Yeah. So there's not that much. But I think it's also that the guy doesn't give a shit. And he just strolls around the pitch.
Well, maybe Pep could do.
And he's on. It's what, $300,000 a week.
240.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, his agent should say sorry, not Yaya.
It's only 2/3 of Rooney's wages.
Is Rooney on 300?
He's on more. He's on 325.
Is it 325?
Yeah, because
he was the highest in the league.
He was on 300, and he signed something in his deal that whenever they got a new player.
Speaking of contracts as well, Simeone signed a new contract with Atletico.
Okay.
But it was a reduction of his contract. So he's only there for another 2 years maximum.
He wants to go to Italy.
So they've actually reduced it.
Didn't they reduce Torres' contract as well? And Torres was like, what's happening?
Not sure about that. But
They did. That was last week.
I didn't, if that happened, Well, Simeone is obviously a bigger one, but that will probably be the end of him once he gets to that contract.
Okay.
Inter Milan are favourites to get him.
Why would he go there? Yeah, they've got loads of money, but like Atletico are
Where did they get that money from? Is your man just pump all money? Was your man Marcotti? Is that?
Yeah, it was 2 years ago when it was 2 summers ago it happened. Real Madrid, from the end of last season through to right now, have had an unbeaten run of 16.
No, they've won 16.
Games. One, which is a record.
Equaled Barcelona 2010-11.
Zidane better than Pep?
We'll see. He's great though.
Doing very well,
right.
Especially on the fact that they couldn't buy anybody.
And there was no
they did buy people.
There was no Bale or Ronaldo.
Oh, sorry, they can't buy anybody moving forward. Sorry, excuse me.
No, they can't buy anyone coming this window.
This window and the next window.
And the next one, yeah.
Yes. Barcelona are interested in Hector Bellerin. No surprise there, really.
This is just the Daily Star's headline every other week.
Well, I don't know. I'd say there's something in it.
What, a fast player that they want?
Well, he also was from their academy.
Yeah, exactly.
So
like that's
they buy all them back.
That's 2 + 2 = 4 kind of stuff, Nothing real surprising there. Isco, supposedly wanting out of Madrid.
Well, him and Ham don't
Isco's
play.
Still at Madrid.
Yeah.
Didn't James score the second goal for Madrid?
He scored it, but they're not really. They very rarely play, to be honest.
Let's see. Anything else? No, okay. We shall move on, to the Premier League results from this past weekend. Started on Friday Night Football, the second Friday Night Football. Liverpool travelling to Stamford Bridge, faced Chelsea. 2-1 goals in the first half by Lovren and Henderson, with probably the goal of the season at the moment. And then, Jesus Christ, who equalised for them? I forgot who equalised.
No one equalised.
Sorry, I forgot who got one back. Costa got one. Oh, yeah. Costa got one back. Overall, obviously, Liverpool better team and really positive away win. And if it wasn't for that Burnley blip, Liverpool would pretty much be considered the second best team in the league, I think, this year so far.
Yeah, they played really well.
I think I actually still think they are probably the second best team in the league at the moment. On the first
so
few games.
yeah.
Yeah.
They got all that.
Like if Spurs won their next game and everyone won their next game and Liverpool lost to Hull this weekend, that's all gone. But I think as it stands,
Yeah,
right now,
we'll enjoy our week.
Yeah, exactly. So any thoughts from the game? Firmino dropped as a risk issue. Wasn't even
Injured.
on the bench.
He's injured, I think.
Well, he could have played, but Klopp was like, everyone kept saying the word risk, so he held him off. But
I thought it was Henderson's best ever match for Liverpool.
He was. You know, Henderson has completed more passes.
I'd say most of them are not Burnley match.
Yeah, he's completed more passes than any player this year so
far. He that was his best game. I thought Matip was very good, except for the goal. He was shocking for the goal. He just fell on his arse for that. I thought it was actually a really good performance from you guys. I thought it'd be a draw. I thought it'd be 2-2 when I was coming in. You've beaten the curse of Sinnets.
Yes.
Well, John hasn't.
No. I'm never going there again. It's an awful place.
Actually
heard you guys ran into
a Norwich fan.
No, well, the Norwich fan.
Which Neil embarrassed.
No, I heard you. Two of the worst Liverpool fans ever were there.
They weren't bad. Who said that? Niall. They looked like the two worst.
Who were those guys you were talking to?
Yeah, Barry and his mate with the tattoos.
Oh God, yeah, I avoided them.
Barry the second.
They were grand.
No, but to be fair, you guys actually played really well, and it does bode well for you this year. But again,
that's the
you're not
Liverpool
able to kick
thing.
the Hull next week, haven't you?
Liverpool will beat
Hull on Saturday.
Liverpool will beat all the big teams, and then we'll draw to Hull, and we'll do whatever. If a team plays against us, we'll give them a good game. If they just want to sit back, we'll drop all the points.
Well, Hull will be Hull is going to be interesting in the sense that if what you're predicting to happen will happen, it will happen on Saturday.
Yes,
and we'll know. All right, moving on. Hull lost to Arsenal. Sanchez with the brace opening, and on the 83rd, Theo Walcott and Xhaka with his first Premier League goal. Livermore got sent off, and Snodgrass converted a penalty. That's probably like 3 Premier League goals for Snodgrass already this year.
Sanchez missed a penalty.
And Sanchez also missed a penalty, actually, yes.
Is this why Santi didn't take it?
Well, no one knows.
Weird.
Was this a case of Hull being the shits, or
Arsenal actually looked
very good? That's the second goal for Leicester.
Another exact same one for Akazaki.
I think Livermore was a bit unlucky to get sent off. I think that his hand was up and it came off itself. Like for that reason, but I don't think. And Arsenal were kind of hanging on. They really struggled to get that clear
third goal,
second and third goal. Which is strange. I know Arsenal are a very weird team.
They were always kind of in control. It was about a 10-minute spell where they were like, oh God, but they were kind of killed them, to be honest. First, it was kind of like the first half against Watford, where they were kind of very comfortable. Granted, Xhaka still hasn't started. It's only started one game since, but his goal was did you see it?
He scored a second today.
Really? Has he?
Yeah.
Oh, very good. Right, we'll get to the current. We'll get to halftime scores when we're there.
Your man Iwobi, by the way, he is some player.
Really?
Yeah.
He did that thing where he pointed his name after he scores. I don't care for that.
How do you put that?
Really? Daniel Sturridge does that.
No, Daniel Sturridge does a dance.
I know he does dance, but he has done the name point, hasn't he?
I didn't like when he did either.
Fair play. Like that consistency.
If you're good enough, we'll remember the name.
That's what they say.
Well, they might remember Dean Sturridge, his uncle.
Why would we would remember Dean Sturridge?
The game before Danny.
That means
Tell
nothing.
Me more
it's
about
not
Dean
film.
Sturridge.
Played for Derby, played for Wolves.
Was he
90s?
Sturridge's uncle?
Pretty sure he's his uncle. Pretty sure.
Good player?
He was fine for Derby County for a while.
Left-footed centre forward?
Right-footed. I think he played up front with Paolo One Shop for Derby. So there you go. There's a bit of trivia for you. Paolo One Shop.
That should have been your fucking teaser, mate. Get back on that. That would have been incredible. Who is Daniel Sturridge's uncle's strike partner? Brilliant.
Well, he is retired, to be fair. So he's not still... they're both still not up front. They're both not playing tonight for Derby.
No, not tonight.
The dream team, as some would call it.
Leicester, after we all kind of written them off, are on a really good run. Won the Champions League. 3-0 here against Burnley, which we'll talk
win
about.
The Champions League.
Sorry?
They didn't win the Champions League.
Winning
I'm
in
pretty
the
sure they did.
Champions League.
I'm pretty sure I remember
I didn't say that.
Leicester City winning the Champions
You
League.
did say win the Champions League.
It's been a very quick year.
It came out of nowhere.
Leicester beat Burnley
Champions
3-0,
League
which
out of
we'll talk
nowhere.
about, and obviously they're most likely going to beat Chelsea here. So what's the crack? Is it all down to Slimani, or is it a case of it was a slow start?
They'll still be doing well if they finish in the top 10.
I think they'll beat all the low teams. They're like the opposite to Liverpool. I think they'll struggle against any team that can kind of just set up and defend against the pace. But like,
Slimani is a good sign.
Yeah.
I don't see how you think they will finish 10th or lower. At this stage, I'm thinking
there's a lot of bad teams.
The obvious top 6, and then I think it'd be them and Everton will be close by. Because West Ham have looked like they've fallen off. So
West Ham just can't defend.
Yeah, so you've got 6. You've got the 6, and then you've got Everton and Leicester, right?
They haven't been very good, Leicester. Like, they played well against, I think, as we did last week, the worst Champions League team I've seen in an awful long time, in Club Brugge.
I think they'll finish high enough because...
And who do they beat at the weekend?
Burnley,
right.
And they're beating Chelsea right now.
It's a cup game and they're all playing reserve.
I think they'll finish high enough because I just don't think, like, from, say, the top 6, even if you include Liverpool in that, down to 13th, there's some awful teams. Like Southampton, who finished around there last year, can't score a goal. They're relying on Charlie Austin and
who
Shane
Dan
Long.
thinks is better than Danny Ings.
Yeah.
Well, he was until he got his bad injury.
Yeah.
That was a really good shot, actually.
West Ham can't keep a clean sheet.
No.
Stoke are going to get relegated. Like they're
what's going on there?
They're 8, 9.
We'll get there. We have a lot to talk about there.
There's actually we'll get there, but like that's the 8th, 9th, and 10th of last year. So there's space. Like maybe Watford if they keep going the way they're going.
Well, they are going well. Any specifics on this game before we talk about City?
They pushed Vardy back to behind Salami, which I thought.
Yeah, but Vardy playing in
like
the goal.
it worked obviously, but it's not how it. Vardy also got like a nice assist, which I know he didn't mean, but a nice little.
He just got one there as well, actually.
Vardy and Mahrez aren't cleaning house like they did last year. Like those sort of games they were last year, you know.
Yeah, but like people are wise to their ways now, and they're going to have to adapt slightly.
There seems to be now the partnership is Amartey and Drinkwater in midfield.
Yeah.
So it's still kind of Amartey would be the closest after Kante. Well, I don't know. I think at the back Leicester would struggle a bit this year as well.
Well, but it has been a very good week, unless something drastic.
They played two terrible teams.
City looked incredible again. This time it was against Bournemouth. De Bruyne scoring second match in a row. Same with Iheanacho. Sterling and Godongan with his very first Premier League goal. Nolito getting sent off in the 86th minute. Do you want to talk about that sending off?
Bit stupid of him, wasn't it?
Wasn't it?
What's the point? I'd say Pep murdered him.
And here I was talking about how great and underrated he was. He's
playing very well, but that was absolute stupidity. Like
it was very.
Like it was sort of the most pointless red card you've ever seen.
It made no sense. But
City are pretty shit hot at the moment.
Oh yeah.
Pep did say that Bournemouth were the toughest opposition they've had this year.
He's being sincere, was he?
Well, I think it was a little mind.
Was that in terms of a team who tried to keep the ball?
Yeah. And mind games towards poor Mourinho.
Wow. No. Yeah, that's what he said. He said they tried to keep the ball unless like other teams got hoofing it. By the way, he was right in saying that.
Me and Dan were watching Soccer Saturday, and Paul Merson described that Kevin De Bruyne goal and reacted to it like he'd never seen a player do that before. Like
I saw you do it in pro to me a few times. I was very cross.
But like it happens at least once a year in the Premier League, and if not, like a couple of times all over.
I'm going blank here. Can you describe goal to me?
He just took a free kick and it went under the wall.
The wall jumped.
Sorry, of course.
And Paul Merson lost his mind. Like I don't know.
Young Phil did that last year.
Exactly, and like Paul Merson was like, "Oh my, what a brilliant goal!
5 stars against Chelsea in the Champions League."
It's like, how did he even think about this? It's just like, oh my god.
This happens all the time, and usually when it happens, it's put down to really to like lousy defending in terms of just jumping on the whim. Yeah, which you're kind of told to do.
But you have to jump, like
Nah. Not if you're like a real strong powerhouse, like I know Yaya Toure.
Get him back in that team.
Sure. Okay, West Ham, they've shipped 8 goals in 2 games.
to Watford and West Brom, which is the
Brom.
worrying part. West Brom, it's the first time they scored more than 2 goals since February. It's the first home win since March, and it's the first time I think Tony Pulis ever has scored 4 goals in a game or something.
It's the first time Tony Pulis managed a game without his hat as well.
Ooh.
No, not really. Of course,
James McLean scored in this match. That's how bad West Ham are doing.
That says.
But they were. Yeah. But West Ham were like again.
There's not so many chances.
They were all over the place at the back. Absolutely, like they got caught on they had a corner and it was only 2-0.
Yeah.
And like again, they gave away stupid penalties. That left back who I said last year is no good. Was at it again. He's shocking, that fella, Makambu or something, whatever his name is. He's really, really poor. He was.
Bonga not centre back and Collins, is it?
Left back.
Collins shouldn't be centre back.
Collins was really bad.
He's very slow.
So it's Chadley with a penalty. Actually, Chadley had a really good game.
He's a really good boy for 12 million.
Really, really clever. Big man Rondon on 37, McLean on 44, and.
But I just don't understand how it was the third goal was Rondon. No, it was Chadley, wasn't it? Chadley got the third one.
Sorry, okay.
No, McLean got the third one.
McLean got the third one, it says here. Sorry,
or was it, maybe it's the fourth one then.
Rondon got
Chadley got the fourth.
Which one? It was one of them anyway, that it was a corner kick for West Ham, and they put every single player up.
Yeah.
They didn't even one back.
No, they had...
It's like...
They had...
I know you're chasing a game, and you have to put like...
9 players in the box and 1 on the edge of the box, and the keeper then.
You know,
incredible.
I just... You know, like, I know you're a goal or two down, but... Like, you're literally looking for chaos of that. Like,
so what's happened,
well,
in your opinion?
John said Bilic might get sacked now.
I think, well, there's articles going around, and basically, I think people are just trying to pick the team out, but what people are saying is, when Bilic came in last year, he was able to bring in all this, like, attacking football, but they still had a bit of Sam in them.
Yeah.
So they were able to defend, and now Sam's gone, and he's made more changes and made them even more attacking, so now they can't can't defend. I also think pace is affecting them. Like Rondon's strong and quick, and McLean is quick. And last week against Watford, they really struggled against Gallo and things. So I don't know, maybe against slower forward lines they might be all right. But
if this keeps up for his own sake at the age he is, Payet has to look for a move in January, right? He can't.
Well, the only team wanted him last was the Chinese team for like 50 million or something.
I just hope Antonio stays. I think he'll beat
Antonio scored
record
more headers than any other club in the Premier League this year.
Yeah, it's incredible.
He's 5 now.
Yes, he's a good lad, Antonio.
Yeah, I said he was a very good signing last year.
Well. Big Sam, first England cap already. Okay, Everton and Middlesbrough, another impressive performance for Everton. Gareth Barry playing his like 620th Premier League game. Coleman and
600.
Was it 600?
I think it was 600 and he got his goal. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's only Lampard and Giggs had it, I think.
Lampard and who?
Giggs.
Well, Giggs definitely, yeah.
Lampard and him, I think, yeah.
And then Lukaku with the third. Stecklenburg, OG. Oh, yeah, they came from 1-0 down, didn't they?
The Middlesbrough didn't even have a shot on target in the whole game.
The first 2 goals shouldn't have stood in this match. The second was definitely a foul by Negredo, and the same with Gareth Barry's goal. I don't know who fouled the Middlesbrough Valdez as well, but it was like
it was a bit dodgy, right? Seamus Coleman scored a very nice goal.
Yeah, he did score quite a nice goal. All right, sorry, Neil's looking at my hair. I don't care for it.
No, I'm looking at you because I don't know what you're trying to do with it.
Nothing. I'm just rubbing it.
Okay, sorry.
Like Dan does a bare stomach, I do my hair.
Good.
We all have our own nervous things we do when we're talking absolute nonsense into a microphone.
Can I say, I think Williams, the centre half for Everton, I'm not touching on performance, I was thinking there today, is he the best British centre half by a good bit? He probably is, isn't he?
Williams?
Yeah.
Johnny Evans is 25 million, so...
Wait, Johnny Evans is Scotch?
He's Northern Ireland.
Oh, Northern Ireland even.
And Northern Scotch Ireland is like a type of candy.
We're now calling him Scotch, aren't we? Okay, sorry.
He probably is. Who's better? Who's a better centre half?
Then Williams.
A British centre half at the moment.
British Gary Cahill.
Yeah.
No, really?
Yeah.
No.
I'd say yeah.
Well, that's a bad state of affairs if that's the case. Really, Cahill?
Yeah, by a bit, I'd say.
No.
Like, he looked really bad there a minute ago, but usually, you know.
He's had a bad season.
He hasn't been good for about 2 years.
Wow. Okay, we'll see. John Terry's a good defender.
He is a good defender.
Still, yeah. Still pretty good.
Probably him and Williams are the two best.
Okay.
Mike Smalling.
Says a lot about defending.
Mike Smalling.
Jagielka. Stones.
Did you
Shawcross.
hear what Vidic said? He said that David Moyes, when he took over at Man United, would show Vidic clips of Jagielka to help him improve.
Yeah, he did the same thing with Rio Ferdinand. He goes, here's what Phil would do. And Rio Ferdinand's like, I've won literally everything in the game.
He didn't actually do that, did he?
He did, yeah.
So he goes, look at, you can improve by looking at Phil Jagielka.
It was all the story.
Jagielka was a decent centre half in his prime, but like
still,
it's right. Gary Cahill just scored.
It was all the stuff that David Moyes did. Or David Luiz is taking it.
David Luiz.
That's a defensive partnership right there.
Assist for Cahill.
Yeah, let's have a look at
If he was a real player, he would have scored. That went out, that corner. I don't think Luiz touched that.
I'm absolutely positive that's Gary Cahill.
That's Gary Cahill's goal. Oh, it is. No, it's David Luiz.
Had it crossed already, though.
And speaking of the best Brazilian centre half, I'd have to say David Luiz.
No.
Your man, Silva. All right, Watford and United. Man United's third defeat in 8 days. Capoue, the secret weapon of anybody's fantasy team.
Except for James, who keeps leaving him on his bench.
Zuniga.
2 weeks in a row. Great
Zuniga, the Colombian fullback. And Troy Deeney, 2 goals in 2 games for the captain. Rashford scored on the 62nd minute. This was a clown show.
It really was.
Paul Pogba having
The clowns were sent in.
2 or 3 shots where Zlatan Ibrahimovic was noticeably roaring at him. Wayne Rooney trying a shot and literally bobbing it as slow as he can out for a throw-in. Rooney was out of control bad in this one.
He's getting worse in every game.
When
I think the pressure's on him a
When
lot.
Van Persie was bought, where did Rooney play? On the right.
Yeah.
He played behind him.
Behind him or on the right.
Left or in behind. Like Van Persie was the number 9.
Yeah, but like he's technically, is he not doing that now? He's not playing just behind Ibrahimovic.
Yeah, but he's
Further behind? What's the difference?
I think Van Persie ran a bit more.
Van Persie
he
really
was
good
very
movement.
slow.
Like when Ibra doesn't want to move, he's
So
not
Wayne
going to
Rooney
move.
can only play as a number 10 if the centre forward is
Like I think actually if you had Rashford ahead of Rooney, I'm not saying drop Ibra. I'm saying if someone like Rashford was ahead of him, he'd run more.
Okay, because a lot of Man fans were saying like it's not a case of dropping Rooney, it's a case of just moving him out to the right. You do Martial.
No, I wouldn't play Rooney at all.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to understand.
I'd actually put him right back because I don't seem to have a good right back.
People are saying, is it that Mourinho just can't drop Rooney? Like he's just too big.
Well,
Yeah, a lot of people are saying as well. I heard a really interesting theory that he's doing this on purpose.
Yeah,
so
that's
then
the
he's
other
actually
way.
got a reason not to play him and
Yeah,
to,
it's like,
to-
look,
to-
there's
you
something
know,
wrong with
I like-
Wayne, Wazza.
But no, like the whole thing about it though is, you know, like they had Moyes, you've had Van Gaal. Performances are not getting better, and like you can honestly say as well though under Mourinho, like I've said from the first day of the season, Fellaini and Pogba won't work. I've said it every week in this show. It does not work and will not work. They can't pass the ball.
Fellaini statistically they're meant to be good at it.
Fellaini, I wouldn't play Fellaini.
Fellaini.
You can't play Fellaini if you're Man United and have to control the ball.
Don't think Fellaini's the issue of those.
I think he's a big issue in that team.
Oh, you
I think
think?
Pogba's a big issue in that
Pogba's
team.
the issue.
They don't have a good centre half. Well, Bailey's okay.
Bailey's very good. To be fair,
The right back Valencia don't rate as a right back. Luke Shaw was all over the place today, and he had a massive go at him.
is that okay? People are up in arms about Mourinho having to go with Luke Shaw for the second.
Well, he was, to be honest.
No, we're not debating if he was in fault or not, but is it okay for a manager in this?
I
stage
wouldn't
to
have
shame
a go
player?
at just at him because everyone is shocking.
Yeah.
If it was a bad mistake by Shaw and cost the team,
Yeah.
fair enough. Like Rooney, I think had the least amount of passes he's ever had in the whole match. He gave it away more. Like there was actually basic things a footballer. Like if you, me and John did that in the game of Astro, you'd be looking and say, "What? Just control the ball. Like what are you doing?"
Yeah.
Like there was times like he was under no pressure and he kicked it out for a throw.
He did kick it out for a throw. He was trying to pass to
Zlatan
Rashford.
didn't look interested at all.
He had Dan, I think you're going a bit mad at this. This match could have gone very different ways. Like Pogba Pogba did hit the crossbar. Ibra had a couple of good chances. Like
There was a 10-minute spell in the second half where Man United looked like okay. For
Yeah, even
70,
in the
80
first
minutes
half.
this game, Watford, a team who might get relegated, absolutely
They're not gonna get
outplayed them
relegated.
and wanted it so much more. And after Man United, they've lost 3 games in a row. They lost 3 games in 8 days.
Well, they played the best team in the league. They played their second string in the Europa League. This one's bad. I'll give you that.
They didn't play their second string.
De Gea and Ibrahimovic played. Rooney played. Rashford played.
No,
they all came off the bench.
Oh, sorry, Rooney didn't play.
Pogba played at number 10, where everyone is saying, "Oh, this is where he needs."
Like what I would do if I were them now, I'd seriously look for a right back in January. I would play Schneiderlin and Herrera in the middle, and I'd have Pogba ahead of them because that's what Pogba is. Pogba is not a guy who can control a game. And if people are just thinking I'm talking like what Paul Scholes.
And who is going to control the game for them?
I think Herrera is their best passer with the ball. I think he could control it more than anyone else could in that team. Maybe Carroll can do that, but I don't know if he can even run anymore. I'd go Schneiderlin as the kind of destroyer.
Yeah.
He'll get around more than Fellaini would.
Herrera, Schneiderlin, and Pogba.
And then I wouldn't play Martial, who's having a nightmare at the moment. I don't know. I'd probably nearly play Mata and Rashford off Zlatan.
Well, Mick.
Is he fit?
Mata?
Is he
no,
even
but
around?
let's just say he was.
If he's fit and you get him going, yeah, you probably play him.
Rumours that
there's a lot of issues there at that Man United team.
The rumour that Mick was just a bit of a +1 deal, like the Ricky Lambert to the Adam Lallana deal, just to give a bit more money to the agent.
What?
Yeah, apparently, because...
well, he's better than that kind of...
He's really great. He's statistically the best midfielder in any league last year for goals and assists per game. Like, cumulatively. Anyway, it's very interesting.
Mourinho doesn't seem to be playing him except for in the big match, which...
Well, he is injured now. Well, no, he was injured before the City game, playing the City game, then got more injured because of it.
But it's really, like, Mourinho's now lost 13... Is it 12 or 13 games in the last 30?
Not like him.
You know, like, there is a bit of a crisis going on there.
Can I say on the preview show I called this time by remember?
What? What'd you say?
I said that if United have 2 or 3 losses early in the season...
I think you did say
in a row, that this is all going to go to shit.
Do you think it was going to go to shit?
No, I didn't. But I said,
no. Do you think it will?
Yeah, because I think now that they're going to start believing that this Mourinho is the same Mourinho who was at Chelsea last year, and that it wasn't a blip. It's now the man that he is. And they're looking around. Their star players are frustrated with the manager. The younger players probably have no one to look up to in this situation because Rooney's getting destroyed by the press. Well, the press that aren't English and who don't have their heads.
Did you see the licking his arse on Match of the Day? I thought it was actually shameful.
It is shameful.
It was really bad.
Glenn Hoddle, he said, it's his worst game ever, 6 out of 10.
Sure, he took a dive last week. And it's like, Rooney probably wasn't a free kick. That's all they say.
Yeah.
You know, so, like, I don't know how much he has to be protected. And I know being an England captain, you look at Alan Shearer, he was protected so much by referees even as well back in the day. Beckham, massively protected. Huge, that was something that went crazy. Now Rooney's kind of the next big star. Like, it's really not working. But what I would really fear over Man United is, like, they played when we were talking about them for the first game of the season against Bournemouth. We were like, they were great. And I was like, well, they were gifted the first goal just before half time. And
they weren't good in the first half of that
game. They were okay in the second half. They did it well. They did what they had to do in the second half. The next game they played Southampton, who have been very, very poor this year.
Yeah.
I said that to a few of my friends. Oh no, we looked really good. Well, not really actually. Southampton, Shane Long missed like an open goal in that, and then it took a last-minute goal to beat Hull.
Yeah.
Who still, I'm still ranking Hull as a really poor team because they've only 13 players. Like, yeah, I'm still saying that. And then they've lost a Europa League game, and then they were, to be honest, they were lucky nearly to come away with a 2-1 against City. Like, City should have scored more than that.
Absolutely.
And now they have this. So I'm not too sure who they have next week. I'm not going to lie. I don't know the fixture list. But it's absolutely...
Leicester.
Massive.
Leicester on Saturday morning.
Leicester at home?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if Leicester can do what they did last year and sit it with 2 banks of 4...
Yeah.
And have Vardy and Slimani, ready to strike up front. Because, like, they're not keeping clean sheets, Man United, as well. Like, even when they were kind of... The start, like, they haven't really been keeping clean sheets. There's big issues there, but I think they need to address it quick. But the things I've said has to happen. Rooney has to drop. Fellaini has to drop. I would say drop Pogba, but you can't drop him. He's paid 100 million for him. You can't, because that's like saying that's like buying a new car and then going, I'm going to go back and drive my Fiat.
Can't drop Rooney, Pogba.
Well, you can't drop Rooney because he's...
Yeah, you can't drop both. You said, like...
No,
you literally said drop the entire team at this rate.
Well, people who aren't performing. I think Pogba has been very, very poor. He's been very poor. Fellaini has been more effective than Pogba, and you know what I think of him?
I try him in a few different positions before I completely...
What about we even try Pogba off the left? I know it sounds absolutely outrageous. Let him go where he wants off the left-hand side.
I just put him
Rashford on the right, and let Pogba go wherever the hell he wants off that left. And you've still got 2 or 3 in midfield who will sit. So you go Schneiderlin, Herrera,
Mata,
and even if you put Rooney as a 3 in there. But just like Pogba go where he wants.
No,
Let him go absolutely where he wants.
Pogba's
and I think he could influence the game a lot more because that's what he is. He's box to box. He's quick over a couple of yards. He's a very good shot. I'm sure he's very good at like just simple true balls and just technically little things that he's very good at. I think you have to get the best out of him, and you have your major asset, and you do that.
I'd try him through the middle first.
Give him a run of games. I'm just trying to think of things you can do because that team needs a shake-up, and they've no tactical plan of what they're doing.
Would you sack Jose?
No,
of course not. Not yet.
Is John already starting this? He started with the second game last season.
Well,
would you do it?
No, I'm worried about him though. There's like stuff. I think second comments were talking like, is the job too big for him? Like how he always wanted it, and now he's afraid to make the decisions he was making at past clubs.
I just think
like if you say you look at Real Madrid,
what just happened to him?
He's never dropped big players. That
he got rid of Casillas. Casillas was Mr. Madrid. He got rid of Raul. Like he's absolutely no problem doing this.
He didn't get rid of Raul.
He got rid of Lampard.
Yeah. Like you have
I'm not sure when.
But they were kind of at the end, though. Like
though where he's come from.
Yeah, so was Rooney. Rooney's at the end.
He's coming in from this like the worst, biggest, most public embarrassment of his career.
Yeah, exactly.
I just think he might be still. He just mightn't be sure of himself.
The one thing I could take you back to your point you said about the Mourinho thing of last year. I'll tell you the performance against Watford really was very similar to I don't remember last year Chelsea Swansea at the start of the season last year. Where it was 2-2, and it was the one with when Eva rang on the doctor. It was very much like that.
Oh, yeah.
There seemed to be no organisation. Players didn't know what they were doing. Morale looked very bad.
Mm-hmm.
There was no plan. It was very much like that. Now, I'm not going to say you're right, but I'd watch this space if I were you, because you did highlight that a couple of weeks ago. I do remember now. It's come back to me. It's interesting. Very interesting what will happen there.
Interesting.
And if they drop points again on Saturday, that is going to be serious David Moyes pressure on Mourinho already.
Just look, there's
because if City win again, they could go 9 points ahead.
To me, there's just
and they've already beaten them.
There's just no leader. Like this,
they don't have a leader. No,
this is Mourinho's first season. It's Ibra's first season, and then their actual leader Rooney is having his worst season.
Like there are 3 leaders.
Carrick's gone.
Carrick and Smalling doesn't play.
And Smalling doesn't play.
So they've done. Yeah.
This is a team without an identity. The point being, if things start going well from the start, that's how they'll grow and become a team. If things go badly from the start, there's nothing there to pick them back up because they're improving.
But the start wasn't brilliant in terms of performances, but they got the results.
I still think,
and that's your base.
For me, anything that happens before October is the start. That's maybe I should clarify that. A team that are having a bit of a renaissance at the moment, Crystal Palace.
Thought you were going to say Stoke.
No, just because
they scored a goal.
Mitrovic actually did score. Tompkins, Dan, MacArthur, and Townsend all got on the score sheet. What's going on with Stoke, lads? We did spend a few minutes on them last week, but anything new to add? Or
5 games into the season, their goal difference is always in double figures minus, so which is always great to see. They've conceded 50 goals in 2016, so this isn't just a this season thing. I think Hughes has sort of lost the plot.
He's on the verge for the sack. If they're still, I'm not saying like there's no way they're still going to be conceding. Like they've conceded 4 to City, 4 to Spurs, 4 to Palace, and
I think they play West Brom this weekend. And West Brom's just hit West Ham for 4, so
Stoke could be home for that. I don't see West Brom.
West Brom are home, I think,
again. But the thing with Stoke is like they've always kind of had a decent defense.
I think they start well. They
don't start well.
Well, they started well against Spurs, I thought, and then I think as soon as they conceded a goal, like they conceded 2 fairly quickly.
What I thought when I was watching that. That's exactly what I thought when I was watching that.
Townsend was great.
He was actually,
which stated the question: is Townsend the new Townsend? After,
but he's one of those players, isn't he? Like if he's on form, He's quick and has a really good shot off either foot.
Yeah, but to be fair,
that's what he's good at.
I was the first to complain about Partiola, and I thought they'd go down. I'm still pretty sure.
I think Hugo is a very good signing for them. I think he'll be more of a presence up front than they've had before, and I think that what he'll do is kind of when he has to bash people around to win headers, he'll be more of a goal threat than say a Wickham or a Saka or a Dwight Gale or Shamak or like they're the guys they've had for the last 3 years. You know, so like I think they'll be fine. And Scott Dan is actually a really good centre half.
Yeah, it's weird to see Stoke
keep him fit. It'd be important for him.
It's weird to see Stoke conceding so many set pieces though,
isn't it?
It's Shea Given.
I think as well the new thing that they've introduced, the shirt pulling, they're giving penalties for now.
Yeah.
Like you look, he was the main culprit. Shawcross was the biggest culprit for the last.
No, Martin Skirtle was the biggest culprit.
6-7 years. Skirtle was certainly up there with Shawcross.
He was the jerk.
Skirtle was a champ. He still teaches it around colleges.
All Stoke were doing collectively as a back four. What they do is they'd hold their man and wouldn't let them go and pulling them. Now they're probably scared to do that. So they have to actually go, wait a minute, we have to learn to defend a different way, set pieces.
Yeah.
So again, and also Shea Given as a goalkeeper, he's 41.
Like the Shea Given thing is a
they need
disaster.
to get Butland back ASAP.
Southampton beat Swansea 1-0 with Charlie Austin's first goal of the season.
He missed like 3 sitters before he got the goal, but he got the goal. It was a nice finish.
Big win for Southampton, and I think Swansea are in danger.
First win of the season for Southampton.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think Swansea are in trouble. I think your man is. A few players are not happy with there, apparently. Again, another thing for Swansea, the manager does great, then all of a sudden goes tits up. It's kind of weird.
And finally, Spurs against Sunderland. Harry Kane scored in the 59th minute, went off injured, and he could be out for 8 weeks.
Yeah, it's not great for Spurs.
That is huge.
Well, your man Janssen.
Oh, they have Janssen.
Well, and he had a shot in the last minute. I remember he's clean through, and he actually hit it. I'd say closer to fucking Rosette than the goal.
Ali also was limping around the pitch as well, so Spurs
haven't publicly disclosed what
Spurs could have won this by a few, but also Walker had to clear a chance off the line, so I don't know if Spurs are struggling to score.
Sunderland they're another team in big dough at the moment.
Obviously there's no midweek stuff besides what's happening right now. We can't really comment on it because we'll be finished before these games finish, so I guess we'll go straight on to the awards. Dan, who is your spoofer of the week?
I suppose it's Joey Barton. But you think as well.
John's getting the phone out. I'm delighted.
Mourinho.
You stuff prepared?
I have to find out if I have stuff prepared.
Mourinho as well, I suppose. For I would say as well. A lot of the Chelsea players have been. A lot of Chelsea players, like for their first half performance. Now, no, Liverpool were brilliant to be fair, but. That was really Chelsea of last year, wasn't it? The first half, they didn't run like Liverpool. I think saw a stat they ran 7 or 8K more.
Yes,
collectively.
Yes,
that's huge. And I know you guys always do that anyway to teams, but for 7 or 8K,
it's bigger than usual.
That's quite a lot. Like that's a lot of. And also Conte for not making any subs until the 84th minute when I would have made at least one at half time.
Yeah.
What I said to you was I would have brought on Bashawi and got 2 up front and try and push Liverpool back.
They had the I don't know what I don't know if you call it arrogance, but I think the directive from Conte was to soak it in.
Well, I know exactly what he was doing. I know what he was trying to do in the first half. He didn't want to let the counter attack go, but when your midfield isn't going to be compact or run, they were just running on the defense the whole time. A slow aging back four, which by the way I know Alonso. I don't know how great he is, and he's okay at Bolton a few years ago, but that was Bolton. They got to drop Ivanovic now.
Yeah,
you think, or else put him centre half as a replacement for Terry.
Where is that where Ivanovic hasn't been on the bench?
He started every game. He started every game. That's like 2 or 3 years he started.
It's incredible.
Like, and his form last year.
It shows actually.
He is Chelsea.
No, but like you think like maybe if everyone's fit,
ugly
you'd have
balding.
Terry and Luiz centre halves, and if Terry's out, maybe put Ivanovic centre half.
Yes, David Luiz.
Because he can't be a full back.
Yes,
he can't run.
John, your spoofer of the week?
Yeah, me forgetting the person who created our logo. His name wrong.
I'm getting it to a quite popular Twitter account instead.
Yeah, that's basically it. Like it's the same as last week.
I am the spoof of the week.
Yeah, that's it. Nothing's changed from last week.
Called spoof for the week.
Last week?
Yeah, one of you guys, wasn't it? The week before.
I don't know. My spear of the week is Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah.
For bullying Joe Matip into a hug. Joe Matip does not like being hugged. He hugged every player after the match, and poor Joe Matip got his shirt pulled by Klopp. Klopp's been very
I think that's nice, no?
To be fair,
it was hilarious.
To be fair,
Maybe
Klopp's hugs look painful.
Yeah, no, they do. He picked Lallana about 20 feet up in the air.
He loves Lallana, doesn't he?
He got Henderson in a headlock. He was really handsy.
How many times did his glasses broke? Twice.
Oh yeah, he was grand this time around. Okay, your goal of the week, John.
I'm gonna give it to Henderson because I can never see him doing it ever again.
Me too, Dan.
That goal there. That's really quick. Oh my god. Maybe Gary Cahill's because he's a really good centre half. No, I'd probably give it to.
I never said he's really good.
Well, yeah. Well, let's just watch this again. It's really good. But I'd give it to Henderson mainly because. Jeez, what a strike! Oh,
lovely.
I'd give it to Henderson's slightly over Xhaka because the importance of the goal.
Sure.
Because I think when that went in, it was like Chelsea are in serious trouble here.
Yeah.
And also to be fair, I don't think he's brilliant, Henderson, but I've never discouraged his effort or is willing to work and do what he's told to do. I think it's maybe a bit of a reward for that because
I don't think we can argue that his form has not been improving this season.
It's been improving. But I think Xhaka's goal technically was probably better. But Henderson's goal in terms of sheer importance, I'd go with that one.
Oh, you have to remember you're beating Czech as well when you're doing. Or sorry, you're beating
Courtois.
Yeah,
I'm going Henderson.
See, Courtois said he's going back to Spain.
Yeah, he said that he's after his contract is up in 18 months. He says we'll weigh it up then. But he says Atletico Madrid, I feel loved. So it's obviously he doesn't like the Chelsea fans and the way they behave the club.
I don't think he said Atletico. I think he just said
no, he did. He mentioned Atletico when he goes, I felt loved when I was in Spain.
He himself has also had a bit of a dip of form, hasn't he, over the last 2 years?
He's not that great. Like when he first signed that first season.
Chelsea goal?
The Cahill goal.
Oh shit, yeah.
It's Desmond.
This is some game,
Desmond,
lads. Okay, that's goal. Dan, your hero of the week.
Hero of the week. Let's say now. There's no real heroes this week, was there?
Wiki Rascals for creating
that fella there, the wiki guy.
Thank you, Wiki Rascals. Sorry that this has been such a tired show.
It's Dan's kept his show going.
Yes. I'm very tired. All right. Now moving on to the fantasy, which might wake me up a bit.
Have you seen the league? I looked at it this week.
The single greatest week in the history of the show, I believe.
I know it's the first time ever this has happened. By the way,
the single greatest week in the history of the show. 80 points I had, and it all came to me when I was on. Let me see. I was in the studio on Saturday night, and I was like, "Wait a minute."
He's cheating on us with another podcast.
Henderson scored, and it all started clicking into place.
You have Henderson in your team.
I know.
What's Henderson doing in your team?
And De Bruyne. Look, I'll be.
But you know the stat I'm going to say. The first time of all times this has happened.
That I'm ahead.
First time.
Not both of you are ahead of me.
The first time of all times.
This is incredible. Okay, here we go. So Tommy at the bottom. So why does Tommy still actively play, or does he just make the team?
Well, he has to actively play because he re-registered back. So he re-registered the team.
Okay.
So.
Rob Normal.
Don't make excuses for him.
He only has 84 points in total, so he must have joined the league late. Because he got 50 this week. So unless somehow in the first 4 weeks he only got like 34, which fair play to him. It's not. I don't think it's actually possible.
Okay.
Well,
Rob Normal on 191, a respectable figure. Reg Harrison, Dave Rogers, Shane Lahart, Becky, James Byrne, Dan in 10th. Dan, you're almost in the bottom of the table. Jeez. Who are you putting in?
You're Leicester.
Who are you putting in?
It's all Arsenal players, isn't
it? It's all Arsenal players.
That Hazard this week, he did nothing. Had just shite.
Okay. You see, Lukaku got given a goal and he didn't score the goal.
When was this? In midweek?
No, just there against
today, right now,
against Middlesbrough on Saturday.
Oh, on Saturday.
Yeah, his goal was given to him and given to us in fantasy. Thank God, because I had him, but he didn't touch the ball.
Incredible. Yeah. All right, sorry, I've skipped over a bit. Darren Hillard in 8th, Regis. Hillard in 9th, Regis in 8th, Dave Nolte in 7th, myself in 6th, John in 5th.
What's going on,
John? I'm 4 points behind you. This is incredible.
I'm in trouble here.
I'm only the 24 off the leader though, so.
Ron O'Reilly, Kenny Murphy in third. Noel Keeley moving up with the famous Rat Banger Rovers.
The 2015 champ.
2015 champ moving into second. He is within 12
and
points.
Look who's top, the 2016 champ.
Oh, Jesus.
It's getting tense.
Oh, this is getting good. I'm really putting the effort in.
It's more exciting in the Premier League, this. Well, City ran away with.
Yeah, well, I suppose. All right, well, listen, guys, anything else before we finish up? I guess there's nothing really except, to come back after the sexy Saturday of football we have coming up.
It's a lovely Saturday of football, unlike this Saturday. I now think that, I don't like Friday night football. The weekend football is too long.
I love Friday.
By the time
I had a lot of good fun going to Sinners. Getting a little sneaky lift out to the Lewis, bang into town, sneaky glass of wine, over to Sinners.
Yeah.
Few pints, go home.
It was weird, wasn't it, going to town and having loads of drinks and going home relatively early?
I wasn't keen on the idea when it happened, but I was quite happy the next day.
Yeah, the next day I was like, no, I thought it was great. Friday night football, it doesn't always have to mean you're staying out till 3:30.
I've experienced Friday night football for the last 10 years. So.
I suppose. Yeah, but by yourself.
Well, I've been going with people, just didn't go drinking.
That's League of Ireland. He was by himself.
Sorry, League of Ireland, excuse me. All right, well, guys, we'll be back probably around the same time next week because it will be Monday Night Football. And so we'll either be back on Monday or Tuesday. Until then, you can get us on Twitter at ITK Soccer Show, Facebook /ITK Soccer Show, or the ITK Soccer Show on YouTube, where all the shows are posted regularly. And you can also access the archives there as well and go back and see times like when I had more time in my life and I could edit out things like the word rape or... sentence that John said in allude to Bill Cosby roofing somebody, which I usually would, but
no one said the word rape.
Yes, they did.
You did in the very, very first episode.
It was edited out.
Oh, back then, yeah. Good times.
See, the archives are great, so go on to YouTube and enjoy that. If you do enjoy the show, of course, we do try and do it once a week for free, so please let other people know about it.
And get people to do our artistic work for free.
That'd be nice. And if Dan remembers, 6th week in a row, he might put the soccer code into the comment section.
Well, no, not this week. No, I can't be seeing people hearing that you're ahead of me in the league. They don't want to see it.
Oh, wow, so I have to do it. Well, can you give me the code?
It's on the sheet of paper. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, guys. Until next week, thanks very much for listening.
Sorry for the sound, by the way.